Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I am AbdulRasheed AbUBAKAR. On the show today, I have an industrialist, entrepreneur, and a politician par excellence, Honorable Shina Abiola Peller, Federal House of Representative member, the Ayedero of Yoruba land. Welcome to the show, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Rashid. It's good to have you.
You are a successful entrepreneur, very private business person, an industrialist, and a philanthropist. How do you then join partisan politics coming from a private sector?
Thank you very much. One thing that I realized at a very late stage of my life is how important politics is. If I'd even know how important politics is, I would have even joined politics before, way before now. As an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship is about problem solving. It's about bringing about sustainability. It's about leadership. Because as an entrepreneur, you have people that you are mentoring. You have people, that they answer to you. And this life is a life that I've lived, for a considerable amount of my time on earth. And one thing about entrepreneurship that is similar to politics is stakeholders management, which I believe so much that is something that is key in the success of all, the businesses that I've managed in the past. There's what is called emotional intelligence, which is something, that I use with all my staff. I've managed over 500 staff. And I can tell you that I know them by name. Outside what we do, at work, I'm connected to their daily lives. And so that's something specifically that I believe that it should be similar to what a good politician should be. A good politician, must feel the pulse of his people. He must know, what the problems are, and he must be able, to provide solutions to the problems. So as an entrepreneur, I've been on the board of, different successful companies. And, myself, I own a conglomerate of a group of companies called Aquila Group, with interest in oil and gas, in building and construction, in entertainment. Entertainment with Aquila Records that has given so much opportunity to turn, the aspirations of young, talented, Africans to become superstars. And also with Quilox. Quilox is a nightlife brand that came into existence in 2013. It took us about 2 years to put Quilox together because we were actually filling a vacuum in the entertainment industry. Before the existence of Quilox, there was no purposely built nightclub in Nigeria that meets up with the world standard. And Quilox, came in 2013. And even by 2013, I've represented Nigeria under the platform of Quilox, at the nightclub convention in Las Vegas. And at this time, I was the only Nigerian in 25,500 people.
Wow.
Yeah, so what I have done in the nightlife industry, I kept, building a dream. But I realized at a particular stage that no matter what I build for myself as a person, I can never be insulated from the failure and inefficiencies of my environment. And you agree with me that the failures and inefficiencies of my environment, will be determined by the government.
Yes.
And definitely government comes to life from politics.
Yes.
So it is from this time that I realized that if I say that I would not be involved in politics, and I leave politics to people that are less informed, so they will be the one to identify people that are not as good as we had. They are not competent people.
Brilliant.
And put them into office. And those people will now make laws and policies that will affect what I have built. So I ended up saying that politics is important. It's something that we should, get involved in, especially in a country like Nigeria, where we see that our politics, is actually, getting worse. by the, year after year, because democracy in Nigeria, I expect it to be the people's government, where the people should have power even more than the government. But it's the other way around as it is now. So until some people that have done so well, in business come into politics, then that is when we can say that we have, a system that, will work for Nigerians. So I realized this. So I decided to come into politics, knowing that it is the same thing that has made me a successful businessman that will make me a successful politician. Stakeholders management. Manage the people that you work with. So in politics today, who are the stakeholders? The traditional rulers, the religious leaders, the youth, the market women, the people with disabilities. Make sure that everyone is well taken care of, and you have a system that caters for everybody, not a selected few.
Wow. Your emergence as the honorable member from your constituency signal a new era of a youthful representation. How have you represented your constituency progressively?
Yeah, when you ask me how I've represented my constituents progressively, it falls into like 4 different parts. The first part, like I said, is how do I manage them? They are the stakeholders. When I came into the political sphere from where I come from, it's an area that is marginalized, the Okeogun area. The Okeogun area is about 10 local government area of Oyo State. We occupy the largest percentage of the landmass. And the main work there is farming. So we have a lot of farm, for our people to farm on. And we are the food basket of Oyo State. But when it comes to getting offices, we are marginalized. One, Okeogun shares a senatorial district that share boundaries, that shares 3 local governments from Ogbomoso. That's one of the marginalization, whereby Ogbomoso we share with Okeogun, and Ogbomoso we share with Oyo as well, from the 5 local governments. That's what I'm saying. Oyo Central shares with Ogbomoso, and shares with Oyo. But now Okeogun, outside that, if you look at the 10 local governments, we have not produced a governor before. Right. This is an area that has so much prospect. Aduawari Suspended Lake is there. It's the second suspended lake in the whole world. The first one is in Colorado in America. Wow. Yeah, we have Ikere Gorge Dam. Ikere Gorge Dam is a dam that can give water, that can do fishing, and even irrigation, and even hydroelectric power, for the whole of South. But all these resources are being neglected, so as the people. So when I came into the scene, the first thing I could say is what is wrong with our politics, because I think that politics is one major factor that tears us apart from Okeogun. So I decided to work with the youth from my constituency. So I can tell you today that the youth leader, when I came into politics, my youth leader of Isenyi local government is the chairman of the party in Isenyi local government. Oh, wow. The youth leader from Ward 8 is the present youth leader for the Oyo North Senatorial District. Wow. The youth leader from Ward 5 is the present youth leader of the local government. So what I'm doing there is, first of all, identifying the largest demography from that area, which is the youth, and find a way that I can quickly engage them. Let them understand the importance of succession planning. So when a youth leader from last dispensation is now a chairman, a youth leader from a ward now becomes a senatorial youth leader, then they can begin to see light on how to do things. So the first thing I've shown is leadership. Then outside that, my job as a House of Rep member, my first obligation is to make laws. I've made laws that has affected the lives of my constituents. The first one that I did was moving a motion on the need to tackle the scourge of rape. And the resolution for that particular motion is for the federal government to issue a sexual offenders register, so that offenders can serve as deterrent, to others. And after moving that motion, the federal government issued a sexual offenders register as we speak now. If anybody is convicted for rape, then your name will be published on that register. Outside that, I've moved a lot of motion. I moved motions to call the attention of the government to dilapidated roads in that area. It's saying your road is a road, that is so important to my people, that connects them from the farm to the market. You understand what I'm saying? So that is being done as well. Outside that, I've done a lot of empowerment personally. Immediately after the COVID-19 pandemic, the lockdown, the first empowerment I did was for the farmers. And that is giving the farmers, about 1,500 farmers, mechanized farming equipment. So instead of them going to farm and spending 6 hours, and then they spend lesser time and they achieve more because they are making use of mechanized farming equipment. So it gave them about that. Then I looked into the health sector as well. I was able to give ambulances and other health equipment to health centers, around. Outside that, I've done boreholes, have built classrooms, I've given transformers to resolve the issue of power failure. And also, there was a time during the issue of insecurity, we were having a clash between the Fulani in that area and the people of my constituency, precisely the people of Iwajowa local government. So what I've done when I stepped into that matter was I was able to call all the stakeholders together. That is the police, because security, you have to make sure that you get all the security agencies together. So I got the police, I got the DSS, I got the NSCDC, I got the hunters, and I got the traditional rulers. Then I got the Fulani community head himself to be part of it. So what we did was, first of all, let them understand that we understand that Fulani has been living with us for the past 30 years, and nothing had happened. Why is it now? So it means, so from that engagement, we could understand that there are some Fulanis that infiltrate that area from neighboring countries. So what I did was to buy computers, to buy biometrics equipment, and donate it to the police. So I'll now tell the Fulani head to tell every Fulani that is representing to go to the police station and go and do their registration. Take their finger, capture them, take their data, ask them what they are doing, and let them know that whoever that doesn't have his data captured at the police station, if that person is found wanting in terms of any nefarious activities, then that person will be held responsible. And so be it. The issue reduced. So these are the things that, I've done. That's a part of the community constituency outreach. And also the third part is the oversight function. I am presently in the House of Rep. I'm not a chairman or a deputy chairman of any committee, so I'm not overseeing any agencies, oversighting agencies as a chairman, but I'm a member of a few committees. I'm a member of Committee on Army, and the committee has done so well, visiting, all the Army's equipment and assets, and see, what their problems are, and we'll try as much as possible, to provide solutions.
Thank you, Honorable Shina Abiola Peller. You recently announced to join the race to run for the presidency of Nigeria. This was a call, to serve for you, according to what you said. So, and again, at the back end, you decided to announced to run for the Senate. How would your young people from the North, looking at you as a leader, how would they perceive this announcement, you announcing to run for the Senate?
Yeah, but, like I said, every great leader in life, will go through some difficult situations, and those difficult situations are when you have to make difficult decisions. And also, as a great leader, you must understand that you'll be in position to make difficult sacrifices as well. For me, I'm somebody that I've always been committed, to the youth cause from beginning. And that is why you will see the northern youth clamoring for me to come and run for president. The reason is because I have trained many of them. there's an organization called the Lead Generation Initiative that I founded. And that organization has trained over 1,700 Nigerians today. Out of those 1,700, I'm sure I've trained over 1,200 youths from the North. Trained them on active citizenship, broaden their leadership skills, political mobilization and political organizing, develop their interest in nation building. And it's a train-the-trainer model. So the 1,700 I've trained over 100,000. So, and part of our objective for training them is for them to be prepared to take leadership roles. And it is part of our plan that we would identify around about 25 to 30 young, competent people in each of the states. And in 2023, try to get them into a position of responsibility, leadership. So they would want me to run for president, because if I run for president, then it means that they are the components of my system change, because they are the ones that understand what actually needs to be done in Nigeria, for us to have a better country.
So do you think Nigerians are ready for a youthful president?
So that's what I'm saying. That's where we're going now.
Okay.
So now I was ready to to listen to their yearning. I am not a leader that will shy away from my responsibility. They want a young, detribalized, dynamic leader.
Brilliant.
Brilliant, energetic leader who is successful both in private and public sector. And that points at me. I have the courage, I have the character, I have the competence. But at the end of the day, I must put into consideration again our political system in Nigeria. The president's candidate will be elected by the party through indirect primaries, which means you will have just few delegates making decisions on behalf of millions of party members. Okay. So, and those delegates will definitely be at the mercy of their governors. So the question is, how many governors agrees with a youth president? If we don't have such numbers, does it make any sense to take 100 million and throw it into the bush and go into a war that you cannot fight? You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So this is the reason I've been having this yelling for me to run for president. At the same time, I have the people that wants me to run for Senate. So I had to just, at the point of making a decision, I had to look at the best way, but still focusing on the paradigm shift of power, which is our first agenda, to have youth in the system. And that is why I advise that if the presidency is just one office, which I think anyway should not be decided by one man's ambition. That position is too delicate to Nigerians now that we need to identify criteria and find people that meets up with that criteria, put it into consideration a lot of factors. We are in a situation now where Nigeria is bleeding. The South is bleeding. Igbos are agitating for Biafra. Yorubas are agitating for Yoruba nation. For Yoruba nation. And the North have been in power for 8 years. This is the time that the parties must come together and pick a president from the South so that you can dice the tension. The same way that I'm a Muslim. This is the same time that the Muslim must give Christians an opportunity too. Because if you look at it, we have a present administration that has 3 arms of government. Judiciary arm of government, Tanko Mohammed is a Muslim. Executive arm of government, President Muhammadu Buhari is a Muslim. Legislative arm of government, Femi Gbajabiamila is a Muslim. Ahmed Lawan is a Muslim. Where is the true feeling for our brothers, the Christians? Have we been able to look at them to say for purpose of peace and national stability, do we have any competent first? It's just like giving some people a first option.
But the vice president is a Christian.
So that's what I'm saying. So these are the points that I will put into consideration that will make me to step down, because I see that position as a position of sacrifice. Anybody that wants to get in that position first must be able to sacrifice for peace, because without peace, we cannot attain progress. So the vice president meets that criteria, yes, you understand what I'm saying, because he represents that demography of Nigerians that should be given that opportunity. Also, we should put into consideration time as well. The rest of the world has left Nigeria behind so much. Who do we put there that will not waste enough time, that will not waste an amount of time for us to catch up with the rest of the world? God has blessed us with so much resources, and these resources are not translating into results. Why? Because of bad leadership. Nigeria is due for good leadership, for good governance, like yesterday. So it's something that we cannot afford to get wrong. We can't make we can't make any mistake. So for the position of president is a position that the party itself must, exercise every form of transparency and fairness to make sure that whoever they turn to is somebody that is acceptable by Nigerians, and not just acceptable by Nigerians. There must be a plan that is acceptable to the youth. And that is why I decided to join the legislature. So in a way, the youth can probably propose, to the party and say, okay, guys, if this is how you want to do it, you don't believe in the youth presidency, okay, we can give you the presidency, somebody that is above 50. But below 50, let it be full legislature. This will give an opportunity to young people, for people to run and for people to get elected in the office. Because we actually need a system that will have more youth. Because in Nigeria today, we have more youth. In the world today, we have more youth. So with the existence of internet, existence of technology, an average youth in Nigeria is competing with another youth in South Korea, in Germany, in Japan. So you need a demography that will create a policy that will manage their life and make things very easy for them. And this is why I decided to join the race of joining the legislature myself, so that at least I can set a good example to fellow youth for them to see that why not can't we be, let's if we can't get the presidency, then let us come in and have the majority, at the legislature.
Thank you. In your recent statement at the fourth Shina Peller NUJ Oyo Chapter Ramadan lecture, you said, and I quote, "I am working with my party to ensure that we put into consideration the inclusiveness of women, youth, and people with disabilities.
Yeah.
I would work with my party to ensure whoever comes up as the candidate of our party flag bearer, I align myself with the yearning of young people calling for a young president." Does this mean you are ready to back out for a more credible president?
That's what I said to you. Nigeria is bigger than you and I. Nigeria is bigger than any single person that is running. This country has been failed for the last 4 decades. Everybody must sacrifice. Everybody must have that spirit to back down for a better person. And when I say better person, it does not mean maybe the person is better in quality, but for the situation. We have a present situation in Nigeria where peace is more important to us. I'm a Muslim. I understand the importance of my religion. It's a religion of peace. If you cannot worship peace, you should not call yourself a Muslim. If you cannot sacrifice, you should not call yourself a Muslim. Yes. So that's why I said, for me, I am ready to sacrifice and work with my party. Let the party realize things that needs to be done so that we can get the blessings, of the majority of the people. Create opportunity and inclusiveness for young people, because we have more of young people in the world today. About 70% of Nigerians are young people. So you should create in our plan for those 70% in whatever that we are doing. Same thing with the women. And these are the things that you can see. The new Electoral Act has given 30% affirmation for the women. So things are working in that direction. Same thing is for people with disabilities. You should do that as well. With what the party has done, party gave concession for forms, 50% for youth, for women, and for people with disabilities.
50%.
Yeah, so I think all these things are, steps in the right direction. So, but at the same time, too, when it now comes to identifying who the president should be, party should make sure as well that it meets up with those criteria that has been said. The person should be detribalized. The person should be younger, at least, be younger than the former president that we have now. The person should be energetic, because the person needs a lot of work to be done. And so the person needs to be accessible, he needs to be dynamic. So if the party is able to identify all this quality before zeroing down on who, should be on the ballot, then it will be easy for us to work with the party, to make sure that we deliver the votes.
Do you have a candidate?
Like I said, I would always want, it is not about me. I'm nothing compared to millions of Nigerians. I think that it should be a consensus, discussion. It is not going to be about me. Like I said, some things should be put into consideration. We should put peace ahead. What are the things that will do for it to be peaceful? Some people are agitating for Southern president now, and while you still have a lot of Northern presidential aspirants outside, what are they saying to Nigerians? Your house is burning. You have petrol and you have water, and you want to pour petrol in the house, and you want to tell me you love that house. So these people must do. So all these people must sacrifice, especially the Northern presidents, aspirants. This is the time they need to sacrifice to show to Nigerians that they love Nigeria first, because it's peace before progress.
Thank you, Honorable. You have an intimidating background given your father's antecedent. Do you think this will help your ambition for the Senate?
Yes, I think it will, because I don't think if my party truly wants to win an election in Oyo State, then I should be the candidate for the party. Why? My father's name is synonymous about Okiogun, which is the area that I come from. My father's name is not just limited to Iseng, and even not limited to just Okiogun, to Nigeria. So I think that it should, work. Outside that, I belong to a 13 local government senatorial district. And the first zone there is Okiogun 1, where I represent now, where my father is from. The second zone is Okiogun 2. That is where my mother is from Repo local government in Kishi. Okay. She is the daughter of the former chief imam. May so rest in peace. And the third zone is Ubumosho. Okay. Lautech is where I schooled, Ladoke Akantala University of Technology. I had my first degree in business, chemical engineering, and I did my master's in business administration from the same school. Okay. So in the history of the school has never recorded any alumnus to be in a position, that to represent that school. So it's a school's project. So if my party really want to win, I can tell you that I should, be, the choice, to win there. But it is just beyond winning now. It is about, giving people dividend of democracy. And in that part, I've done so well. This is my first time in the House. Yes. I'm a first timer, and I'm not a chairman of any committee. I'm not a deputy chairman of any substantial committee. And yet my people could still see, my effort, and have been able to take back home dividend of democracy to my people. And that is why they really want me to run, for Senate. People from other areas that I'm not representing now, that have seen what I'm doing now as a House of Rep member, wants me to be there.
Honorable, what advice do you have for Nigerians, the Hausas, the Igbos, and the thieves, the Igbiras, the Yorubas, towards the forthcoming election?
The advice I have for Nigerians generally, right, is for everybody to realize that God has created for them a land that is perfect, a land that has everything that anyone will be looking for anywhere. They should understand the quality, the goodness, the treasure that God has given to us as Nigerians. And they should realize that we will only be our own problem solvers ourselves. Nobody from outside will come and rebuild Nigeria for us. And that is why we must first of all try as much as possible to get rid of all the sentiments that is tearing us apart. We have different sentiments that are tearing us apart. Part of it is religion. They should realize that there's a correlation between Christianity and Islam. In Christianity, Jesus Christ knew that after him, there is still one prophet that is coming. And when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came, he made him to say that he is the last prophet. And even if you go to Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 18 in the Bible, he said it, that among you, I'm going to bring up someone who will not understand, he will not know what to speak, and he will be speaking God's words. That's Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Muslims and Christians should realize that there are two important reasons why we are created in the first place. The first one is to worship God, our Creator, and the second one is to make impact. The first one, to worship God, You can worship God through your own religion. So God is the destination. The religion are the different route to the destination. So you have the Muslim route, which you pray 5 times daily. Your Fajr, your Zuhr, your Asri, your Maghrib, your Isha. The Christians too, you have the ones that go to church on Wednesdays, you have the ones that go to church on Saturdays or Sundays. So worship your God. And the second one is to make impact. And impact too can be positive or negative. If you make positive impact, there's a possibility that you make heaven. If you make negative impact, there's a possibility that you make hellfire. So let us leave ourselves on the surface of this earth. God is the judge of all judges. Don't be judgmental. Just do your own part. Even when somebody is doing bad, do your own good. Make the world a better place. Realize that you have a country that is bigger than everybody. It's bigger than your religion. It's bigger than your ethnicity. It's bigger than your political party. So Nigeria first. So there's an organization that we call We Together. I'm the national coordinator of We Together. And what we teach at We Together is to tell people that, yes, our country has a problem. We need to develop a new system, a leadership that will make use of all the prospect that this country has. But by doing so, we have to put aside all our sentiments. Political ideology should be aside, religion should be aside, and ethnicity should be aside. This is not the time to say somebody is Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa. This is not the time for you to say somebody is a Muslim or a Christian. Even the last sermon of Anabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was preaching unity. We are all sons of Adam, regardless of where you come from. Whether you are Hausa, Yoruba, you are Igbo, whether you are an African or you are an European, or something, we all come from one source. And God will still take everybody's soul. No matter what you are in life, the world will come to an end. Nobody will come out of life alive. So if we see that, and for the time that you want to spend on the surface of this earth, you want to be your brother's keeper, you want to do good impact, to people, and you want to show at every level the kind of leader that you need. So before you think about who is your next House of Rep member is going to be, who is your next senator is going to be, who your next president is going to be, ask yourself, are you the kind of senator that you are looking for? Hire the kind of president that you are looking for. Be a problem solver within the confines of your own area, and participate in the electoral process that will give room for us to usher in a new government. And when you want to vote for people, try to vote for people, people that are credible, people that you are sure that they have demonstrated some sort of good leadership qualities, not just because they have money, or not just because somebody is popular. Try to see what has person done. In Yoruba, they say, so look at what the person is wearing before this person is promising you what they want to do. And try as much as possible to create a mechanism where you can hold these leaders accountable. When people tell you they want to do stuff, they want you to vote for them. What do you have for us? What do you want to do? So when they come tomorrow, you can tell them this was what you said yesterday. So this is not the time to take money and sell your vote. This is the time of, we have to come together and rebuild, this country. And we have to do it by ourselves, and we have to do it together.
Thank you so much, Honorable Shina Abiola Peller, the Ayedero of Yoruba land, member, House of Representatives of Nigeria Federal House of Representatives in Abuja. Thank you so much for talking to me. I will continue to do media engagement with you moving forward on your programs as you step into running for the Senate. Thank you so much for watching. I am AbdulRasheed AbUBAKAR. Have a wonderful day.